Hello everyone, welcome back to the barn. Before we get started today, I want to tell you a quick story. Before I started recording, I sat down and I was watching videos on YouTube. But I came across one of, I was watching Ellen, and she had a guest on whose name was Nacho Figueras. If you don't know who he is a polo player who happens to be a model for Ralph Lauren. Kind of makes sense though, right? So I get a kick out of this guy. He's just flirting with Ellen. He's being very provocative. And after the video, I was like, wait, I've actually met him. I was at a horse show, but I was at the end of my show. I was packing up all my stuff. It was a long way away, so we were going to throw everything in the trailer and leave the next morning. So I had a few hours to myself. So I was out walking the dogs, and a bunch of polo trailers started pulling in. So apparently that next week after our show was over, they were going to have polo at that facility. Well, lo and behold, Nacho was one of those people that was going to play there that next week. Of course, I didn't know this at the time. I'm some goofy, gangly, uneducated kid. I didn't know who he was. So I was walking the dogs. I was going back to the stalls to go check on my horses. Walking back to my stall, and somebody was like, oh, that's some nice dogs you have got there. And I had no idea. I was like, oh God, someone's talking to me. Stop, please. I looked at the dude and I was like, yeah, they're cute. And I kept going. And then that night, it occurred to me. I was like, no, that was Nacho. I cannot believe I didn't stop to talk to this dude. Because obviously I knew who he was at the time, but I didn't have enough common sense to stop and actually talk to the guy. And he just wanted to have a conversation with me, but from that moment you could tell he was a flirt. He could be talking about anything, and that dude's like, hey girl, what's going on? But it just, to this day, I cannot believe I forgot about that story. But I have met the dude. Nice guy, very flirtatious. So anyway, back to what I was doing. It's kind of later in the day. I'm excited. Chores are done, horses are fed. I'm probably just going to mess around in the indoor, and we'll see how the day goes. maybe filming at twilight isn't such a good idea. I guess I'll just have to try again in the morning. Oh, I'm sure we'll be fine once we get in the indoor. Story number 2 for the day. I want to explain to you guys why I suck so bad at writing English. So about 2 years ago, I was in a horse accident. And I was hurt enough that I went to the doctor simply because I couldn't put any weight on my leg. I was a little bit concerned about that, so we ended up doing x-rays, and it turns out it was just a bad sprain. So I put on my crutches, brace, and sent on my way. Well, fast forward about 6 months, and it wasn't any better. My ankle would simply give out and fail me when I was walking. So I eventually ended up at a specialist after several failed attempts at other doctors. And it turns out, after another x-ray, it was broken. I didn't know this, but sometimes when you break a bone, it doesn't show up for like 3 days. The swelling will eventually push it apart, and then it shows up. It healed fine, but it turned out to be a tendon issue at that point. So I ended up having surgery on it, and now it's mostly better, but in that time span, I probably didn't write English for 2 years. And when you don't do something for that long, you tend to lose the muscle mass that you had before. So now, before, when I could go without my irons, and I could post, and I could do the 2-point position. Now I can barely do that with my stirrups. So even though it is a lot better than it was when I first started writing English a few weeks ago, I'm nowhere near where I was. So you'll have to excuse my poor writing, my poor position. I'm working on it. I want to get stronger, but of course, some things you can't help, especially when you're around horses. So hopefully you guys will see a difference in my writing in these upcoming months, but I just wanted to let you know why I am so bad at English right now. once in a while. It's completely dark out now. I have no idea what time it is, but it's fun. It's cooler out. I don't know. I like riding at night once in a while. Even the horses don't agree. It's bedtime. What are you doing out here? But cool day. I got a lot accomplished. They were both wonderful. Yeah, even you, naughty girl. Me. But I like mixing it up. It is Friday, so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to work on your patterns and submit them to me. Even if you cannot do everything in it, try your best. Give me your best. That's what I meant, even if it isn't perfect. I want to see it. But otherwise, have fun this weekend. Get into trouble. Let me know what you're getting up to down below. Tell me what you're going to do this weekend. I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and have a good one.